am sailing, I am sailing home again, across the sea. I am sailing stormy waters to be near you, to be free. I am flying, I am flying like a bird across the sky.
I have my translator here, I've been working with for a number of years, so if we need to translate anything from Northern into something that's a bit more appropriate, we can do that. And also, please let's make it interactive. There's no such thing as a daft question, so I'll take them. If anything arises, just shout out the question, and if I think it's just a bit off tangent or deal with it later, I'll just put it on the board, so we go through it then. My background is I've sailed Merlin rockets for quite a number of years. Hollingworth Lake was a great little water for sailing Merlins, so I've sailed those all my life. Been national champion a couple of times, won Salcombe Week, inlands, I'm not sure how many, 7 or 8 or something like that, silver tiller and things. So Merlin's quite a technical rig, so this is how I've sort of got involved with Norths. And understanding the sails and everything. Come from quite a big family who've all sailed. My nephew is a silver medalist in the 470 at the last Olympics. So, and I've had the privilege to sail with Sophie Wegling, who is now the leading lady who's Stu's girlfriend. So, you know, do a lot of sailing in the family. Again, I've tried to preempt a lot of the questions, and I say we'll just work through it all, but if there is anything, just give me a shout for questions. And again, it's, don't mind kids' questions or mum and dad questions, it's anything that we go through. So firstly, I'm going to distribute some sails. Now this might look like a piece of paper to you, however, it's actually a sail. So, I'm going to put a big triangle on mine. If you want to take a pen and just put your logo on. Go on, take a pen. Yeah, I'm going to put a triangle on mine because mine's going to be Merlin rocket sail. You can have an AB on your sail or anything like that. There you go. So the point of the exercise is, at the moment, it's a nice pristine piece of sail cloth, and so what we're going to do after we put a logo on it is roll it up carefully so that we don't get any creases in it.
Thank you.
Okay. Because that's my main sail. Alright. So the important thing is, at the moment, it's nice and blank and there are no creases or anything. The important thing is to try and keep it so that it goes down in parallel, so it all rolls up nicely like that, so that we don't get any creases in. So once you've got your logos on, pass the pen round. So your sail number, or the emblem AB, or Cadet, or America's Cup TP52, anything like that you're aspiring to. What sails have you got, Carter? AB, really, you're on Merlin as well. Good, good, good. It doesn't roll very easily, but that's part of the success, is to make sure that it just all goes down so that you can roll it and unroll it, and the piece of paper is still nice and flat. But if we leave it up flapping in the wind, or put them in a bag like that, my brand new sail is going to come out looking like this. So your sails that are the same age as my sails, even when I straighten it out, it's not quite the same, is it? So just unroll your sails and roll them up again. Good. So just unroll them. Are they all nice and flat still?
Yeah.
And now the fun bit, you can trash your sail in the wind or scrunch it into a bag. Oh, you don't want to do it. Do a right answer. Yeah, so even if you're just flapping it round, rather than scrunching it up, you're putting wrinkles into the cloth, and it's not very good. Sort of plain looking cloth. If you look at this stuff, which is a jib, you can see the little squares that are in it of the weapon weave. Don't ask me which way around it is. But this is the same stuff that the 420s get their sails made out of. So if you just want to hand a few of these around as well. These cloths can rip. So you've seen it all nice and pristine condition. Do you want to scrunch these up as well? Has everybody got some? What are the sails? The sails are your engine. So we want them in the same shape that you got it, so it's really flat, not creased, because if the sail looks like this, it's not going to be fast and it's not going to last long either. So the sails, both sails are there, rolled up, just as we rolled our piece of paper sail, just so that we don't get any creases in them, so it's all neatly looked after. We'll try and keep them like that. If you can, just rinse them off, keep the salt out of it when you come ashore, and possibly things like if you pulled your out all on really tightly, just relax it a little bit so that it's not stretched tight over the week whilst you're not here. Alright, any questions? Not very quiet. What I was proposing to do now is go and rig one of the boats. We're thinking of putting yourselves up on it. So if we could take Peter's boat, we'll take it into the shed, we'll rig one up, and then we can rig other boats up and just have a look at it from there. Right. The sails have been looked after quite nicely. Obviously the jib rolled round, might be a bit tight, but just a bit of blowing round with it being outside. And again, for me to unfurl it, I'm wrapping it round as well, because I'm parallel getting creases in my sails. It's just all the time trying to keep it parallel so that we're not cutting creases in, it's just sort of rolling round all the time. Pull sail away, roll it round. If we get a crunch in, don't pull it out, that's when you're going to get the tears. Just unroll it, make it all nice and flat again, and then continue rolling it up. Boats out, we put them on the slipway. What position do we put them in?
Head to wind.
And who does that remind us of? Edward who? Indeed, he was in the class as well. So it's always head to wind. To the luff, which is the front edge. What's the back edge called, Peter?
Gap. No.
Ben, do you remember? Anybody else? No. Right. So, if you can't reach the other side, ask somebody else. Could you just, please, just keep something else to tease those creases out? That's it. keep rolling. Just keep pulling it a little bit in front. That's nice. So I'm rolling it down the leech now. So we're keeping it as we want it. Just speed your end up a little bit. What's happening here is that the roll's going a little bit spirally rather than keeping it parallel. That's because that end's being held too tightly. So if you just let it speed up a bit, so let it get a bit bigger. That's it. That's it. Good. Thank you. So. It's good that the gaff's detached because we can now swing it round. Do you mind going on to that, Peter? Just hold somebody. That's it. We can now load it up. What I'm looking to do to try and maximise the speed of the sails, etc., is get the gaff as high as we can. Okay, so if we just have a look at the sail, initial thoughts were to pull the gaff up as high as we possibly could. In this instance, if we just look directly behind the gaff, there's a bit of a crease. So if you get your jacket, you can see I'm pulling a crease into my jacket now. That's exactly what we've got behind the gaff. So I'm just going to drop it down a little bit. One thing you might consider, if it was me in my boat, what we've got in the Merlin, is a tack line that goes around the mast to hold it so that that gap is parallel. If the sails are staying up, that's probably a good idea. If you're having to drop the boom off the mast all the time, it's going to take a little bit of effort to do that. I've got it's a little loop with a bobble on it so that you can push it through. You can adjust the ends and you can just flick the bobble over it and it will hold, so it's quite a quick release thing. So two components is obviously down the luff, tensioning it downwards, if I had a Cunningham, and then again across the foot, so the this might be okay.
So you attach your bobble one from this bottom eyelet?
From bottom eyelet to there,
Okay.
I think you put an eyelet in there if you've got a Cunningham.
Right.
I don't know if you allow them.
No.
So you probably want second piece of string, or there are only piece of string to go in. So where we had the tight crease behind the mast previously, because the bottom's sort of floating up a little bit now, that crease isn't there because it's relaxed a little. If we're to go out into some wind now, just to simulate the wind, you can see how the sail is now able to take its aerodynamic shape. Basically, if it looks nice, there are no big creases, then it's probably fast. So it's always good to just have a look at your sail. If it's not pulled up properly, it'll drop down and you'll get creases across here. So when you're setting off, guys, you just need to make sure that's pulled up to the right place. Yeah, so we can see now the shape of the sail. If you want to just come and have a look at the back, you can see the aerodynamic shaping in the sail. We'll just put the jib back up. So which sail's this? And what does it do? Exactly.
Rich, can you just say what shape you should be looking for on the main?
Yeah. It was just suggested on the inside.
Yeah, inside, yeah. So, you know, it gets the sail in a windier spot. The only thing it does.
One of the things that I've noticed a lot this last week is the way that the kids just jam in the jib. Yeah, and that I think there are a couple of reasons for it. Obviously, you've only got two hands, and that's the third piece of string at the front. With the jib cleat, it might be worth putting one of the sort of guards on the jib sheet, because if in this case Peter's having to look to put it into the cleat, you've got to grab it, look to see what's going on, and then drop it into the cleat. It's taking a lot longer than it would be if it was held in one of those things where you can just pull it and it drops straight in. The payoff may be it's got to go out, but I'd suggest putting something like that on so it's quicker. The other thing that happens is where we're looking at the sails, we're looking down the leech to try and get the optimum shape in the sail. So if it's too open, if you want to just come round to the back, you can see the reach of the sail. If you've not got any kicker on, the sail's going to lift up and there's going to be a huge twist in the sail. Yeah. Or if we put it on too tight, you can see how it's really straight and it's sort of flattening off at the back. So that's what you'll be looking for in the sail. We've got two telltales. And what's going to happen there is a bit of wind's going to hit the front of the sail, one bit's going to come round this side of the sail, and another bit's going to come round the back side of the sail, and when it gets to the leech, the back edge, the telltales are going to be pushed out by one or other of the two bits of air that have gone round the sail. So if it's too tight, it's good, the streamers are going to go that way. If it's too open, they're going to sort of go around the flow. So it's just getting it so that they're sort of flicking between the two. If that makes sense. The wind's coming over like an aeroplane wing. Yeah. What we want the jib to do, the back edge of the jib wants to be parallel to this curvature. So what I've noticed a lot of you doing, not necessarily you lot, but people that have been on the course, is you get the jib and you jam it in tight. Yeah? So does the back edge of this sail match the curvature of the main sail? Is the right answer. So what shape is it at the moment? So to me the main sail is coming out like this. This is really straight and it's sort of yeah, there's a bit of shape there, but we're looking at the back edge. Yeah. So if we just let this jib off a tiny little bit, can you see how that is now parallel all the way up? So that turbocharger is working more effectively than if it's jammed right in hard. Yeah. But it's only going out a tiny amount. And I know I'm probably pulling it in harder than you would, but particularly when it's light winds, if you jam that in hard, it's going to stop the turbocharger working because it's closing, this is called the slot, and it's going to choke it up so that the wind's not able to flow between the two. Any more questions on sails and stuff? Any more questions on...
Who's put the kicker on?
Again, do we know what the kicker does, guys? Girls? What does it do? You're right, it does something. So just go and stand at the back of the boat. So look up at the back edge of the mainsail. Is it straight? Is there some shape in it when we get a gust coming through?
Yeah.
Right up the back edge.
Straight.
The wrong answer.
No.
So if you just watch it, I'm not touching this one. If you just pull the kicker on, can you see how it's gone really straight now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's possibly too much. Just needs to hold the sail to stop the boom lifting up. Okay. One of the other things, mums and dads, that I've noticed is the rudders keep popping up, so it's going to make it hard for the kids to steer. The rudder's going to go really heavy if it keeps popping up, so just need probably stronger pieces of elastic to just keep them down. Don't obviously come up if you're going to a sandbank or anything. And the other thing is Burgee, because not everybody's been using them this last week, so you always need a flag just to show you where the wind's coming from. Because where should the boom be? Say again? Yeah, so if the flag's off to the side, the boom should be underneath it. Good. I think that's it for me. If anybody's got any questions, anyone wants to rig up any other boat, just have a look at it.
Ladies and gentlemen of the class of '97, wear sunscreen.